Hi, it's Chris. So last time we talked about the night sky, how to orient yourself using Stellarium. So this I thought might be a good time to introduce the program to you on a more detailed level. We're gonna do a short rundown through all the important features of Stellarium so that you can get started right away. So that's Stellarium. When you open it, you can see a landscape, and because it's daylight you can see no stars. What we can see here are the cardinal points over here for a first rough orientation. And so we have a toolbar here on the left with the main important windows for us. The first you're gonna need is the location window. On first setup you need to set your current location, because what stars you see in the sky highly depends on your current location, obviously. So you can enter a city name here, you can enter a city name manual here, you can get your current location from GPS if your device supports that, or you just enter your GPS locations all you by yourself, and then you add that to this list. Yeah, so that's on your first setup. It's saved, so you don't have to use that on every start of Stellarium. So there are two main windows we need most for our session planning. That is the date and time window over here. You can press F5 and we'll open up the time and date window, where you can enter obviously the date and the time. So we're gonna fast forward to the night, where we can see stars like that. Cool, okay. So and we see stars are moving during the night, and from day to day they also change positions. We discussed that on a previous video. Okay, so this is the time and date window. It's very important because some objects will only creep up above some horizons or obstacles at a certain time. So you can say, okay, if I want to capture the Beheave cluster over there, I need my setup to be ready at 8 PM. Not at 7 PM because it's hidden behind the neighbor's house. Yeah. So this is the first window, the time date window, and the second very important window is the search window. And on the search window, that's very handy. You can enter any object you want, say the Pleiades, and then you press enter. There are the Pleiades. And then using the mouse wheel you can zoom in. Oh, that's beautiful. It's an open star cluster, by the way. And you can zoom out again using the wheel, even to something like a fisheye impression. Yeah, we stick with that. So, and if you checked an object, you have additional informations about that object on the upper left corner of your screen. So if you enter an object, then Stellarium will suggest different items you can choose from. Andromeda can be the star sign or the galaxy or something else, and you can choose. But you can also enter like catalog names, like M31, which is actually the Andromeda galaxy. You can enter different other catalog names like NGC, something like that. I don't know. That was pure guesswork. Seems to be a small galaxy. Whatever. So you can either enter names or you can enter catalog names in the search window, and that's very, very helpful. You can search for positions. You can scroll through lists, and you have an option. Well, this is the most important window for you when you start up Stellarium. Yeah, those two objects, the time and date window and the search window, they're the most powerful windows in Stellarium for the first usage and to get to know the sky. You have a few more options down here. You can blend in the constellation lines and give them names. That's very handy to get a first orientation on the night sky. So, for example, here's Orion, here's Cassiopeia, here's Andromeda with the Andromeda galaxy, here's Triangulum, and for us, important too, can we see it right now? We need the time window for that. Here's the Big Dipper, and now we know the Big Dipper leads us the way to the tail of the Little Dipper. That is Polaris. Polaris, over there, the last star of the Little Dipper. That is showing up right here. Okay, so that's handy. The third option, the constellation art, I don't know, that it's a bit overwhelming, I think. I don't use that. So, then we can, for orientation, turn on different grids, and we will talk about that grids in later videos. So, and we can unselect the ground, we can unselect the cardinal points and the atmosphere. So now you can see all the stars. I wouldn't do that because this makes Stellarium so beautiful, and it gives you a really good impression of what the night sky may look like. You can opt in or opt out different objects like deep sky objects, planetary labels, or the overlaying of the objects. M31. Oh, and I have to so you see, and it's disappearing. I don't know why you should do that. Yeah, if you zoom in very closely to an object, then you see that the stars are actually moving relative to us. If you want to avoid that, you can click center on selected, and then it stays in the central region of your screen. Yeah, there's a night mode involved for using it outdoor. That's really handy, not for losing your night vision. I would recommend that if you plan to use it outside. If you use it to plan your session, it really doesn't matter. And it's a full screen mode is available. I hate the full screen mode because I always get something like a bug. If I want to open another tab or another program when running on full screen mode, is always something seems to crash. I don't know, I avoid that. And then, I don't know, show exoplanets, show meteor showers. Meteors are pretty pretty inside Stellarium. Really, you don't really need it. Yeah. Then you can fast forward or fast backward the time. You can go to the current time, and then you can close Stellarium. That's whatever, wherever you want to do that. Okay, so for planning your sessions, we have a third toolbar up here, and this is very important. This is the option icon, and it opens up this window. So you have this general option window, and we go straight to sensors and telescopes. So these are for me the most important tabs. Here you can enter a new name for a new sensor, and you can research the details of the sensor in the internet. The resolution, the chip size matters, the pixel size matters, and you can enter a rotation angle. It's like how the camera is attached to the scope. We come to that later on. You can add even binning, and then you can click on add. So and the second thing is a telescope tab, and you can do that for your scope. So here is important the focal length and the diameter. So, and whether it's horizontally flipped, I would keep all that checked. And then you can add. So this is my Skywatcher, and I want to use a Canon EOS 750D. And what can I do with that? Okay, I click a certain object. Let's say, do I recall it? M42. Ah, this is the Orion Nebula. So, and I want to shoot an image of the Orion Nebula this night. And I set up everything, my scope and my sensor of the camera, and then I can click on image sensor frame. And Stellarium will show me the field of view that my scope in combination with the sensor will show me when taking a picture of, in this case, of the Great Orion Nebula. So, and what I then can do, I can rotate the camera ever so slightly, and I can see whether the object fits inside my camera frame or not. So with the Canon EOS 750D and my Skywatcher at 750mm focal length, I can shoot the Orion Nebula and the Running Man Nebula in one frame. But for example, M31, the Andromeda Galaxy, just barely at 85 degree rotation. Yeah, that is luck. Let's see the North America Nebula. You see, so here my field of view is just way too narrow to image the whole nebula. So I would need another scope with a smaller focal length, say 450. I click add. This is my new scope. And see, even at 400, I will rotate it back. Even at this focal length, another scope, say 300. 300, yeah, that might do the job. So if I frame it like that, so what you can do with that, you can test your framing. You can see what's possible with your scope. With, well, my scope vanished. Oh no. Skywatcher 750. So you can see what's possible with your scope and your camera. What can you capture? What can't you capture? M33, the triangulum. It fits nicely in one frame. But other things will be too small and some things will be too big. And this is very, very handy. Not every scope and not every sensor is capable of capturing every object in the night sky. You can use the ocular view. There you have to add eyepieces. There are some eyepieces already included. And then you can click the ocular so that you get a feeling what you can expect to see in the night sky. In my light polluted backyard, you obviously can't expect to see any details of the Triangulum Galaxy because the Triangulum Galaxy is very, very dim. These are the main features of Stellarium. You can edit a few more things with the sky and viewing option window. You can opt in or opt out the Milky Way brightness, zodiac light, that really doesn't matter. Dynamic eye adaptation, I would leave that checked. And the atmosphere visualization, but that gives Stellarium a very smooth touch, I would keep that. You can show planet orbits. you can check or uncheck catalogs for your DSO objects or markings. You can edit your own landscape, and I will do a full video of how I was able to incorporate my personal backyard into Stellarium in another video. You can add different star lore, so the star signs, they're different from culture to culture. I leave that to Western, I wouldn't use it either way. And you can edit the appearance of the deep sky objects by different surveys that were made by different satellite missions. So I leave a DSS color, that's enough for me. You can also connect your Stellarium program with a scope, but that's up for later videos. These are the main basic functions of Stellarium, and I highly recommend using Stellarium on a regular basis to get a good grip of the night sky, to get a feeling of what's up there, what can you see, what objects are you interested in, what objects can be actually seen with your telescope, and what objects are too large, too big, too small, too faint. And so it's very important to play around with these options. So that was it. That was the first grip on Stellarium. I hope it will help you use this software more often, and I hope you like this tutorial. And if you do, click like and subscribe for more yet to come. And most importantly, if you know other people just getting started with Astro stuff, lead them here, share this channel and spread this amazing hobby. And then, as always, clear skies everyone, until next time here at Catching Photons.